afternoon. Thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. For more than 2 years, we've seen or experienced the dramatic changes in employment and the workforce. Despite millions of jobs being added in recent months, businesses of all sizes are still trying to find enough workers to fill open jobs. While job growth and the economic outlook can change rapidly, there is help in Vermont for workers and employers. Vermont Associates for Training and Development, known as A4TD, offers training and employment programs that work for individuals, businesses, and community partners. Today, I'm going to speak with two guests about A4TD's signature programs. Judy Emerson is A4TD's Director of Talent Development. Also with us is Pat Grether. Pat is a participant of one of the A4TD programs. And I'll talk with her in just a bit, but I'm going to first start with Judy Emerson. Judy, in your words, so tell us, what is A4TD?
As you noted, Fran, A4TD is short for Associates for Training and Development. We're a nonprofit that operates workforce development projects for mature workers in 5 states. And our purpose is to provide training that prepares mature workers to obtain jobs and improve their economic self-sufficiency and also their quality of life. So we have been finding jobs and training people, mature workers, in our home state of Vermont since 1983.
And so A4TD is about to celebrate, actually its 40th anniversary, that must mean. What are the specifics of what the organization actually does?
So our Vermont activity is through a U.S. Department of Labor grant called Senior Community Service and Employment Program. That's a mouthful. We call it Csep for short. Csep is the oldest jobs training program for mature workers in the U.S. and our largest program. We also run a small Vermont Department of Labor funded grant called the Vermont Returnship Program. Both programs are participant focused, meaning that we place people in training opportunities that align with their goals and their interests. So we think of these programs as stepping stones to employment. The visuals that you'll see on the screen, they are photos of some of our Csep participants and testimonials. This first one is obviously in a retail setting. It could be like a Goodwill or a restore type of place.
Mm-hmm.
We have other training environments, retail office settings, community libraries, as this one may be, kitchens, healthcare. We have 5 career paths that participants choose from. And from there, they branch out and sometimes go on to receive industry-sanctioned certifications in an area of interest. So maybe you don't want an office job. Maybe you'd prefer to be in a kitchen environment because that's fun for you. You might go ahead and get a ServSafe certification that's for food prep safety. Some of our participants are currently getting certificates in peer counseling. So we do receive a lot of testimonials for our folks. One thing I would like you to know is, aside from the mentioned career paths, there are a lot of options. You might be in a historical society, maybe a nature center, all kinds of places.
That's terrific. So let's just go a little bit deeper about how this all works. Let's start with Csep.
Sure. Csep, it's internship based. So we place our participants in service organizations right in their own community. So that might be your community library. Maybe it's the town clerk's office, Meals on Wheels, the fire department. Recently in Vermont, we've worked with over 70 nonprofits. Many of those have multiple locations across the state. We place participants there. They likely have a location that's near where you live. So participants really love this idea of working in community while they're learning skills at the site, and they're being paid to learn. So they're giving back to community, and that is important. It makes people feel useful, and the fact that they learn new skills while being engaged in community is really important. Csep also provides job readiness trainings around resumes and interviews, trainings on job searching, particularly online, which is a little intimidating for some people, and we'll help you upgrade your computer skills.
Fantastic. So who is eligible for the CSEP program?
We look for mature workers who are low income, unemployed, age 55 plus, who have barriers to employment and a training need. So CSEP is designed for people with barriers to employment. It might be they lack literacy. They need to upgrade their computer skills. A barrier might be that you've been unemployed for a long time, or you live in a rural area, are a veteran, have a physical, mental, or emotional disability.
You're out of the workplace for a while, and you need to get back into it. That can be challenging. So you have a little bit smaller program. It's the Vermont Returnship Program. How is that different, and what are those eligibility requirements?
It is quite different, actually. The internship in the Vermont Returnship Program is called a returnship. It is of shorter duration than CSEP, usually 3 weeks, and it's designed for individuals with a higher skill set who maybe haven't been unemployed for very long, or maybe are still working and are thinking of changing career mid-career. So maybe this individual needs to retool their skills to return to employment in another line of work. So Vermont returnships take place in the employer setting. The hope is that the returnship may lead to permanent employment with that employer, although there are no guarantees on that. So the only eligibility requirement for the Vermont returnship program is that the applicant have prior significant work experience. And our staff can help you figure out which program is best for you.
Fantastic. And so, why are your programs so important now? Why should people seek them out?
There is a labor shortage in our nation, and most particularly in Vermont. That means employers are casting their nets wider in search of workers. So in Vermont, 28% of Vermont's population are people who are age 60 plus. That 28% has a lot of viable workers that shouldn't just be set aside or forgotten. So as of June of this year, Vermont's unemployment rate was 2.2%. And our programs can provide employers with qualified, skilled individuals to meet labor shortages. It is now, during this labor shortage, that employers are recognizing the worth of mature workers.
Absolutely. So employers listen up to this program as well. And I imagine that COVID-19 is just another reason why A4TD's mission is important right now.
Very much so. The help we provide mature workers is more important than ever now. We'd all like to put COVID-19 behind us, but it is still very much with us. Seniors need a safe place to work, host agencies and employers who recognize their worth, and they need a chance to make some money, contribute to their economic independence. So we see mature workers as a capable population that represents an untapped labor source in Vermont.
Terrific. And I'd like to bring in Pat. She's been very patient. Pat Grether into our discussion. She is a participant in CSEP, the Senior Community Service and Employment Program. Pat, tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience with the program.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you for having us on, Fran. Over the years, I've done a number of things. And prior to coming to A4TD, for a number of years, I was a full-time caregiver for a family member. When that ended, I found that my employment skills were out of date. And also with age comes the changes in your physical abilities. And I found that many of my prior experiences I could no longer do.
So how did A4TD help?
A4TD CSEP program assisted my honing in on what I can do and how I get my skills up to date. They placed me in a host agency as a clerical assistant, and I get paid a stipend while I learn. I can now make and send emails. I can make Word docs. I can make an Excel spreadsheet. I place ads on websites. I had no idea how to do a video call prior to my coming to A4TD. And I feel I now have the confidence that I have gained with the training to look forward. And I had also feel like it gives me something to get up for in the morning.
Absolutely, and these are fabulous skills for anybody. What else quickly would you like us to know?
I'd like you to know that I frequently talk with other participants, and many times we talk about how grateful we are for the assistance that A4TD provides to us and how it has elevated our self-esteem. We feel that to go on interviews now, we're feeling much more confident, and we feel like we have the tools to excel at the jobs that we're applying for.
Fantastic. So Judy, how can we get more information about the program that Pat's in?
Sure. So to apply or to get more information, you can go online to www.a4, T as in Tom, D as in dog, that's A4TD at a4td.org, O-R-G. Or you can call 800-439-3307. We do have 7 offices across the state, so likely there's one that's not too far from you. And the addresses and the phone numbers of those offices are listed on our website, or you can just call the main number that is on your screen.
Okay, and Pat, just any other quick thing that you want to tell fellow seniors?
I would just say concentrate on building your skills and don't worry about your age.
All right, and Judy, quickly a final word.
Sure. For employers, we have skilled workers who could be an asset to your team. So please do consider A4TD participants when hiring. And one final thing, yesterday I got a testimonial from a participant. She applied for a job where 175 people had applied, 15 people were interviewed, and she was the most qualified and got the job.
Fantastic story. Well, I hope people are in touch with you soon. I want to thank both Judy and Pat for introducing us to this fabulous program. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Stay well.